Hello and welcome to this edition of the Angels and Destiny show. Why is this show called this, you may ask? So I'll tell you. The accept meaning of angel is messenger, and the accept meaning of destiny is to make firm establish. So my guest and I bring messages to establish what you need to know in the present. And of course, I like working with angels because of the calmness they bring. Now, in a moment, I will introduce you to my wonderful returning guest, Sophie Fox. But before that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching this show live at a later date, as it means a lot to us, to both of us, to connect with like-minded people. And if you've never met me before, then my name is Rae, and I'm the founder of Angelic Energy. And I'm a guide who helps you remember your divine present so that you can heal your past, find your purpose, create your future to expand your consciousness, understand your spiritual path, get clarity on your next steps, and take charge of your destiny so you can fulfill your purpose in this lifetime. Now, each episode of this show covers various themes for your journey, a mini guided meditation or an angel oracle card reading with the wisdom of my wonderful guests, like today's returning guest, Sophie Fox, about how to become your own oracle by tapping into the psychic gifts you naturally have. Now, we did have some difficulties earlier, so if you get any feedback or anything like that, we do apologise. We're working with, this is what technology and storms and snows and everything else happens to us, so do bear with us. So Sophie is going to do a lot of the talking today so that I don't have to talk. Now, Sophie is the beloved author of Guided by Angels, A Journey Through Life with the Archangels, a transformative book designed to help readers view life from a new perspective and tap into the strength and support of their angels. Now, for over a decade, she has been running Angelic Energies, specialising in empowering people to reconnect with their higher self or their divine self. Now, Sophie passionately believes that believes that everyone is psychic and that accessing the wisdom of our higher self should be the most natural thing. This year, she embarked on a mission to help others ignite their intuition through a monthly local development group. Now, this journey inspired her to create her first tarot deck, the Angelic Energies Frequency Tarot, designed to empower anyone to become an expert reader instantly. Now, her mission is to put power back into your hands so that you can access the wisdom, guidance, and support you need when you need it. Now, Sophie is going to explain that our biggest mistake is believing we're only human. We are human in expression, but divine in creation. So connecting spirit to spirit is their most natural state because we are spirit. For Sophie, tarot cards are the easiest and most effective way to make an instant connection to their higher self. And it's her passion to make this connection as accessible as possible for everyone. So without further delay, hello, Sophie, and welcome back to the Angels and Destiny show. How are you today?
Oh, hi, Rae. It's an absolute privilege to be here. I'm really good, thank you. Yeah, excited to get to speak to you again. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, excellent. So before we get into this fascinating conversation, I want to remind you that not only can you share this video, but you can also ask questions, leave comments and thoughts, as both Sophie and I want to be part of this conversation. So please don't be shy. So Sophie, why don't you remind us about your journey and how we can become our own oracle by tapping into the psychic gifts that we naturally have?
Well, yeah, I've been really drawn to help people become their own oracle. I think because of how turbulent the world has been recently, and I think when we try to look outside of ourselves for this reassurance, we're always going to be left feeling scared and feeling even more uncertain about things. So I think as well, thinking about how things are developing, with a huge big rise of AI, and I can see that we're just going to be increasingly putting putting everything on that and really relying on that more and more, which, in some ways fabulous. In other ways, I just think we're a little bit in danger of just losing sight of our own internal guidance system. I think we are running the risk of just getting swept away by all this technology that's going to be emerging at an absolute rapid rate of knots, that we're going to forget, if we're not careful, where our true power lies. And yes, as you very rightly said in your very kind introduction, that I do believe that our greatest mistake is believing that we're only human and forgetting our divinity, and forgetting that, you know, humanity, yes, it is the expression that, you know, we're here, but actually we are divine in creation. And, you know, it has been my mission this year to help people to develop that sixth sense, to really strengthen their intuition. So I've been running this monthly group local to where I live in Halifax, at the fabulous Soul Wellness Hub, to help people in all sorts of ways to strengthen that sixth sense in fun ways, because I think that's how we learn, isn't it? Through fun and through play. And I really do believe that we are all psychic, but it's like a muscle. And the more that we use it and the more that we work with it, the stronger it gets. So it's just really encouraging people to pay attention, you know, when we're given these little nudges and whispers by spirit, and to work with that. You know, we've always been guided by our higher self, by our guides, and it can be so incredibly subtle that we'll pass it off as coincidences. You know, the right people will just suddenly show up when we need them. You know, there are no such thing as coincidences. And you know, the voice of our higher self, it sounds like your own voice in your head. So it's very easy to to take it for granted, because it is so natural. This is the thing, you know, it's the most natural thing in the world. So, and I think, you know, where people make mistakes in life, it's always because they've been listening to that ego voice, and really responding with fear rather than with love. And so the more we can kind of learn to drop into our hearts and to trust that little inner voice, you know, that's always guiding us through love, you know, we're never going to make a mistake, you know, if we follow that. But yeah, it is very easy to get swamped, I think, by life. Sometimes, you know, it can very easily feel like you're living a life of a soap opera. You know, things get thrown at us and have to deal with issues such as heartbreak and grief and trauma, abuse, sometimes low self-esteem, not feeling worthy enough, good enough, feeling lonely, you know, scared and poorly. You know, a lot of us suffer with ill health, which is very, very challenging. But I do believe, you know, the more we can really strengthen this connection to our God source, you know, I don't like that word, that G word, but the universal intelligence, the great spirit, you know, the divine aspect of us, the more empowered we become. And that's my big mission, is to empower people. That's what my next book's going to be on, actually. So yeah, watch this space. I'm about halfway through that one. But yeah, the reason that I love the cards so much is because, to me, they're that brilliant bridge between bringing that wisdom through from our higher self, from our guides. And it's instant, it's instant guidance and support and love. And yeah, I think when we can open up to the fact that we don't have to battle through life, and it doesn't have to be like a white knuckle ride that you're on your own going through this. When we can choose to work in partnership with this divine source, with our higher self, we just, it becomes an exciting adventure instead. It really opens things up. So I have had a big love affair with the cards for quite a few years. These are my own oracle cards. And I think I've not actually stopped to count, but I probably have in the region of about 50 decks now. And it depends what mood I'm in as to what I want to pick up, to be honest, as what I'm drawn to, although I do have my favourites.
Don't we all?
But I always explain to people there's two different types of cards. There's the tarot and the oracle. So the tarot, truthfully, it doesn't matter which deck you get. They're the same meanings. You've got your major arcana and your minor arcana. And those meanings never change. It's just the designs of the cards that are different. Whereas oracle cards, they're all unique. There's no rules, if you like. So with my Guided by Angel oracle cards, I've channeled all the messages in there. Obviously, they're messages from angels, as the title would suggest. So, yeah, but I have loved the tarot for many, many years. But truthfully, I've always, it's just such a lot to get your head round, isn't it? There's 78 cards, and then you've got your upright meanings and your reversed meanings. And so through teaching people to develop their intuition, it was a big drive for people that they wanted to be able to learn the tarot. And so that's how my creation of the Angelic Energies Frequency Tarot has been born, was helping people to find a much easier way of being able to work with the cards. So I think it's amazing as well, the tarot, because they've got their own energy, that they've been around since the 1500s, but they're still just as relevant today. They're fabulous. But the bit I didn't really like about the tarot is the fact that some of the images can be a little bit dark and scary.
Yeah.
Because they date back so long. Like if you see an image of a man flat on his front with 10 swords in his back, you instinctively like, oh my God, what is that? Or a heart with swords in it, it instantly, it's quite triggering, I think.
Yeah.
So what I've done with my own deck is I've taken away all those dark, scary images, and I've made them beautiful and colourful, as because I am a bit obsessed with colour.
Bit angelic.
Well, yes. What I've done for the court cards, I've put halos and orbs in there. And for the minor arcana as well. So it's a much nicer, much softer. And to make it easy, I wanted people to be their own oracle. This is the whole point. So I put the meanings on the cards so that people can instantly see what that card means, and then you can use your intuition to kind of feel into it. and and kind of expand on that, and it just makes instant sense. So yeah, really excited. They should hopefully be around at the end of this month in time for Christmas. But a lot of people, you see, they don't feel confident in working with the cards. They don't understand how to use them. And I really want people to kind of overcome that, because it's just, they are so simple, and there's no right or wrong way to pick a card. If you just, I like to shuffle them, for example. If I'm just wanting a one card thing, I'll shuffle them until one pops up, or you can just fan them out and let your intuition guide you. Or if you're wanting a few cards, because where the cards really come into their own is when you're asking the cards questions. And say, like, you wanted 5 cards in the spread, I will just keep shuffling them until something inside me says stop, and then I'll deal from the top. But yeah, you'll develop your own way in selecting them. And there's, the thing with them is they just never fail to amaze me how spot on they are. I just absolutely love them, and it boosts that confidence you have of that connection to your higher self when you work with them, because you'll see for yourself. You'll just be amazed at the guidance that comes through, and they'll open your mind up to think about things in a different perspective that you wouldn't have thought about normally. That's really why I love them. But yeah, where they really come into their own is when you ask the cards questions, and the cards will answer. So in the guidebook that I've created, obviously you won't need a reference of what all the card means, because they're on the cards. So what I've done is I've put 30 different card spreads in the guidebook instead. So all the different things that you'll be challenged with through life, you can look through and say, oh, right, this card spread's going to give me the questions that I need to ask the cards to be able to get the guidance through that I need. Now, the only thing with using the cards is we've just got to be a little bit careful in the questions that we ask. The cards, they can't make decisions for us, and that's not really what this is about. Remember that you're the oracle. Your heart knows. And so the cards really, they give you kind of a flavour of the what you're wanting to explore. So yeah, things not to do with the cards. Don't ask them to make a decision for you. And try not to ask yes or no questions either, because it's far better if you can get the cards to have like leading answers instead. So something else that people do that is very naughty. If you pick a card that you don't like, and you put it back in the deck, no. Naughty. You've got to pay attention to that. Sometimes, if that does happen, and you think, oh, well, I don't know how I can relate to that. By all means, pick another card or two on top of that to explain a bit more, because sometimes life isn't that straightforward, is it?
No.
And it needs more than just a one card answer, so that's fair enough. But things to ask instead, if you can ask the cards, what do I need to reflect on? What do I need to know about this circumstance? So it's more kind of opening your mind up to consider possibilities rather than, yes or no kind of answers, if that makes sense. But yeah, I can't wait for everybody to kind of get on board with using this amazing tool to bring this guidance and wisdom through for you, from your higher self. It's I just love them. They've changed my life, and I hope to be able to change as many people's lives as possible with these cards. I really do. Oh,
Yeah, and I think sometimes it's we find it really hard to trust that inner voice, you know, that we hear, or we don't actually hear it. So using things like cards as tools is actually a really good thing to help us.
yeah, and I love the practice of picking myself a card each day, saying what do I need to know for this day, and you can journal as well. You know, once you've done that, look back on the day and see how that's kind of been relatable. You know, through your day. There's all sorts of amazing ways of working with them and strengthening them. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's,
So what other ways are there besides cards that we could use to actually trust ourselves as an oracle?
well, I suppose it all comes down to awareness and being consciously more aware of when you receive these signs, receive these coincidences, and acknowledging them. You know, we've all got your clairs. You know, some of us are clairaudient, so it'll sound like the voice in your head, on your own head, or clairvoyance, where you get like a little flash in your mind's eye of something. Clairsentient, where you just have this feeling. Claircognizance, where you have this inner knowing. And quite often we just need to give ourselves that quiet time. You know, if we've got an overactive mind that's like the M62 and it's constantly woo, your guides can't get a word in edgeways. You know, so it's giving yourself that quiet time to let these things just, and it's amazing. These ideas just pop into your mind out of nowhere. You know, that's why you find people, if they're in the shower or they go off on a run or something like that, where you know they've given themselves, or walks in nature. That's when we get this guidance through.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those people that has literally the busy mind because my mind's so analytical. It's constantly on the go. So
Yeah.
I have to make the time to go, okay, this is the time where I'm going to connect, going to listen, or
Yeah.
I just do the channeling so that I'm not even thinking about it. It just comes out. Because if I start thinking, that's it.
But I think an important thing to remember as well, that our higher self, it connects to us through our heart, through the wisdom of our heart, and through the feelings of joy. And we know when we got that little spark inside of us, of something that's lit us up, something that's helps us feel that sense of joy, that is divinely sent. You know, that's your highest self, that's your hot soul speaking to you. Come on, do this. This is what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah, that's
Yeah. And I can see we've got people watching. So, you know, do say hello to let us know you're here. And of course, if you've got any questions you want to ask, then please feel free to ask because we do like to include you in the show. Although I'm trying not to talk as much because of I'm creating a feedback loop, which is always fun. So you came up with because you've been doing these development circles. So
yeah.
had you thought about doing these cards before then, or was it literally doing the development circles that actually, oh, I need to do these cards now? Because obviously you created one deck already.
Yeah. I well, after writing my book, I was given the nudge to create the Guided by Angel Oracle cards, and that was an amazing experience. You know, I channeled all the messages; it just flowed through me. Yeah, it was fabulous. I had no intention before doing this intuition group to create any tarot cards. No, it was just, again, you know, these things just drop in, don't they? And when you know it's right, when you feel that sense of excitement, that buzz, and it's like, right, this is what I've got to do, kind of thing. Yeah, it was divinely sent, my dear.
As these things always are.
Yeah.
And again, it's sort of like when these things come in, it's actually being aware and taking notice of it
Mm.
rather than ignoring it, which I think is what quite often people tend to do.
Well, do you know what? People tend to get hung up on the hows, and that's what stops them. You know, it's like, well, how am I going to do this? And when they can't see that answer immediately, then they'll just park it or shelve it, and then it gets forgotten about. And that's the secret, you know, when you've given these ideas that kind of light you up and give you a spark, you've got to act on it. And you've got to keep that focus and trust that the right people will show up to help you along the way. Trust that the universe, if this is what you want, it will help you make it a reality. You just got to keep that focus.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So I know that I quite often will say to my guests if they want me to do a guided meditation and pull an oracle card, as soon as I'm getting a lot of feedback this time, I'm going to ask Sophie, you know, would you like to do a guided meditation, maybe pull one or two of your cards at all for what we might need to know as a collective?
Yeah, let's do it. Sure, let's do a little guided meditation to start with.
Yes.
Okay, so get yourself nice and comfortable for me. Just allow your eyes to close. Now, I'm sure we've all had very busy days, so just enjoy this moment now for yourself as just an opportunity for a few minutes just to relax and connect in with yourself. So start to breathe very slowly in through the nose, perhaps to the count of 4. And then exhale very slowly through pursed lips, through the mouth to the count of 6. So just making sure that the exhale is longer than the inhale. And just starting to feel nice and relaxed. Just taking another big deep breath in. Just with the goal of becoming as relaxed as possible. In for the count of 4. And exhaling very slowly. Just releasing any tension you find in your body. And continuing to breathe slowly. Just let it happen naturally. Feel yourself sinking deeper and deeper into the most relaxed state possible. And move your awareness out of your head. Your awareness only just seems to be located there. And center yourself in your heart instead. Because your heart is where this light resides, and this light never goes out. The center of you through which you are connected to all that is. I want you to turn that light and awareness up now. Visualize this bright white light glowing inwards in all directions, in through the center of your heart. And the fastest and easiest way to come into a coherent, resonant state that helps you connect to all that is to think of something or someone in which you are very grateful for. And what can you find to feel very grateful for in this moment right now? Just feel into that gratitude. Sending that gratitude outwards now. You might like to imagine it. There's a beautiful rose gold colour. Rose gold energy, and we're just going to send that rose gold light out into the world to anyone or anything that needs to feel it right now. And while we're doing that, let's just take this collective moment just to set the intention for peace and unity consciousness. No matter what challenges are going on in your life right now, no matter what you've been experiencing, just know that these are only temporary. So just like dark clouds that might be obscuring a beautiful blue sky, this bright light within you is going to move those dark clouds away. So taking a nice big deep breath, we're going to blow all those dark clouds outwards, creating space. And expanding your awareness now, sitting in this clear space, becoming aware of how you feel in this moment. In this expanded state. And just being aware that your guides, your angels are surrounding you now, enveloping you in their beautiful, loving presence. There's nothing that you need to do to be deserving of that loving presence. It's always there for you. Just enjoying that feeling of being cocooned in that beautiful, unconditional love. And turning that light up even more. Just enjoying that for a moment. And just remembering that your guides, your angels, are always speaking to you through the voice of love. And their voice will never be criticizing, it will never be harsh, it will always be pure, unconditional love, guidance and support. So thanking them now for everything that they do to love and support us. Thanking them and asking them to make their presence known as fully as possible in the next coming days. Letting them know that you're looking forward to working with them. So with gratitude for this experience, simply taking a nice big deep breath in, a nice big refreshing breath, coming back into waking full consciousness. Yeah, it's so nice just to take that, it doesn't have to be long, just taking that few moments just to connect in with the divine. One of my favorite exercises is to do some meditation. I'll try and set a timer on my phone for however long I've got, 15 minutes or something. And then when the timer goes off, I'll have a journal next to me and I'll just pick up the pen and I'll start to write. I'll set the intention I'm bringing a message through from my higher self, and I'll just start to write without thinking about it. And I really encourage people to do that because it's beautiful, and you'll be amazed actually at what comes through. It's it is. It's lovely thing to do. So let's just get us a little message. What collectively do we need to know right now?
And anyone who's watching, if you want to share how you found that guided meditation, that'll be nice. I loved it. It was nice to just, it's always nice when someone else does a guided meditation. I don't have to do it because I can just go.
Yeah. Take that moment to chill. Oh, wow, this one popped up. Okay. So I'll try and get it on camera. We've got Archangel Uriel here with alignment. And this card to me is about, it's not, it's trying not to self-sabotage. To me, it's about getting all your ducks in a line. And quite often, you know, we'll have all these good intentions, but then bad habits and things get in the way. So I'll give you an example. For example, I would love to drop about 2 stone right now. I would. I'd be really nice. I'd be very happy with that. Except I can't give up my addiction to chocolate. You know. Yeah. So just think about, you know, what it is that you want to be aligning yourself with right now, and just be consciously aware of how you might be stopping your progress. And be honest with yourselves, my dear. And you know, if things need to kind of shift to bring yourself into alignment, ask for some support as well from you guys, from your higher self, to kind of set the intention, right, this is what I want, this is what I'm going for, and not have any resistance, you know, because when we don't get what we want, it's because some part of us is in resistance somewhere, and try and locate what that is. And so you know, when you can really kind of bring your conscious awareness to that, you'll really get yourself in alignment, and there will be no stopping you, my dear. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. You know, and it is good for the collective as well, because, you know, people are out of sorts at the moment. You know, they're not sure where to go or what to do, and it's just reminding them to come back into
Yeah.
into their self, to their own oracle, their guidance.
Yeah. 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 Perfect message, really. Yeah.
Yeah, as cards always are. It's always the perfect message, even if you don't like the card.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Spot on.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely perfect. So Sophie, do you have any insights or thoughts or last words of wisdom to leave our viewers?
Really, just encouraging people to spend, even if it's just a few moments every single day, meditating on your higher power, connecting to that wisdom of your higher self, that inner voice of yours, and listening to it more, you know, really, really, and trusting it. Yeah, trusting that voice of that your inner child, which is really the voice of your higher self. It's one and the same thing. And what really, thinking about it, what more important conversation could you be having than with the divine? Really, there isn't, is there? So just dedicate just a few moments every day, my dears, to doing that, please, and your life will never be the same.
Well, no, yours has certainly changed with doing that. Mine has certainly changed with doing that, and it is well worth doing it. So I hope everyone that you've enjoyed this conversation found it insightful, because I know I definitely have. So if people want to connect with you, Sophie, how do they do that? Do you have anything coming up at the moment? When are the cards actually being released? And are there any free gifts or anything you want to share, or anything you want anyone to know?
Oh my gosh, where to start? Well, I've got one more big show coming up this year. I'm going to be at Magna in Sheffield, in Rotherham, with the White Lights events. I shall be there with all things Angelic Energies. And for all information, the easiest place is to go to my website, really, angelicenergies.co.uk. You can see I'm on all social media. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I do a really lovely Facebook group where I do free card readings every day. I've just done one tonight for people, actually. And Yeah, I just encourage people to please keep in touch with me. I do a free monthly newsletter as well that you can sign up for on my website. The cards will be here, fingers crossed, end of this month. So yes, just in time for Christmas. Super excited about that. And when they do come out, I'm going to be doing a whole host of free things like, card readings, teaching people how to get their confidence in using the cards. So yeah, I'll be all over social media sharing all of that for free. So yes, please do follow me, watch this space, and can't wait to share with you.
And can people pre-order the cards yet?
Yes, they can. Yeah, you can pre-order them on my website. So yeah, thank you.
And I'll pull the links into the comments after the show anyway. So thank you so much, Sophie, for sharing your wisdom. It's been an absolute pleasure. I enjoyed the guide meditation, and I'm sure those that are watching live or will watch the replay enjoy that. And of course, if you are ready to release the past, uncover your soul gifts, and create a life of clarity, purpose, and abundance, then I invite you to join me for a free 20-minute soul path discovery clarity call, where together we'll explore where you are now, how past life regression can help heal deep-seated patterns, how future life progression reveals your most aligned path, and how angelic Reiki brings transformative healing to every level of your being. So let's discover how this program can empower you to spread your wings and can confidently soar into the life you're destined to live. And of course, you can receive a free gift to connect with your guides, angels PDF, or a future life progression recording, as well as a couple of other free gifts if you want to sign up to my newsletter. And I'd like to again thank everyone so much for watching. I'd like to invite you to share this video, as I'm sure there are more people who feel lost and want to get clear on their destiny just like you. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, then please feel free to subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified when the show goes live. Or my other show, Oracle Guide and Meditation Your Weekend Reset, which goes out live every Friday at 3 p.m., or I post the guide to meditation. And of course, remember, every time you like, share, subscribe, not just to my channel and my stuff, but to Sophie's and to all my other guests, it really helps get our message out there to help people on this journey with everything that's going on in life at the moment. So you can be part of that beautiful butterfly effect of raising people's energy with knowledge, wisdom, and joy. And I look forward to you all joining me, same time, same place next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.